As the battle progressed, it became clear that the combined forces of the Bulan and humans were gaining the upper hand. The Thren, faced with a determined and well-coordinated enemy, began to falter. Their ships, once so imposing, were now being systematically dismantled by the relentless assault of the Allied fleets. In the heart of the conflict, Murloc felt a surge of determination. The Alliance, despite its challenges and complexities, was proving its worth on the battlefield. The Thren's once overwhelming superiority was being eroded by the combined might of the Bulan and humans. It was a moment of triumph, a vindication of their difficult decision to forge an alliance with a species they had once regarded with suspicion. But even as victory seemed within reach, the battle was far from over. The Thren fleet, though reeling from the onslaught, had not yet been completely defeated. Their command ships, heavily armored and resilient, continued to fight with tenacity. The final stages of the battle were marked by fierce engagements and desperate maneuvers as both sides fought for the decisive edge. Murloc, alongside the human commanders, orchestrated a series of coordinated strikes designed to break the Thren's remaining defenses. The combined firepower of the Bulan and human fleets focused on the Thren command ships, aiming to cripple their ability to continue the fight. The Thren, though battered and bruised, fought with a fierce desperation, unwilling to surrender. As the battle reached its climax, the Thren fleet began to retreat. The Allied forces pressed their advantage, pursuing the retreating enemy and ensuring that their victory was absolute. The remnants of the Thren fleet scattered, their once imposing armada reduced to a shadow of its former self. In the aftermath of the battle, the command center was filled with a sense of weary satisfaction. The combined forces of the Bulan and humans had achieved a hard-fought victory, but the cost had been significant. The battle had taken a toll on both fleets, and the scars of the conflict were evident in the damaged ships and exhausted crews. Murloc stood on the bridge of his command ship, surveying the aftermath of the engagement. The sight of the defeated Thren fleet, scattered and retreating, was a testament to the strength and resolve of the Alliance. The battle had been a turning point, a moment that would be remembered for years to come. The victory was bittersweet, however. The cost of the battle had been high, and the war was far from over. The Thren would regroup and prepare for their next move, and the Alliance would need to remain vigilant and prepared for future challenges. As Murloc looked out at the remnants of the battlefield, he knew that the Alliance had proven its worth. The humans, once seen as outsiders and potential threats, had become invaluable allies in the fight against a common enemy. The Alliance had survived its first major test, and the Bulan and humans had emerged stronger for it. But even as the victory was celebrated, the challenges ahead loomed large. The Thren were not defeated completely, and the Alliance would need to continue its efforts to secure peace and stability. The future was uncertain, but the combined strength and determination of the Bulan and humans offered a glimmer of hope. The battle had been a hard-fought struggle, but it had also been a testament to the power of unity and cooperation. The Alliance, forged in the crucible of war, had proven that even the most formidable challenges could be overcome through collaboration and shared purpose. As Murloc and his fellow commanders prepared for the next phase of the war, they did so with the knowledge that they had forged a bond that would shape the future of their peoples. The Alliance had been tested and had emerged victorious, and the path ahead would be marked by both challenges and opportunities. In the end, the battle had not just been a fight for survival. It had been a fight for a future where the Bulan and humans could stand together as allies and partners. The victory was a testament to their strength and resolve, and it marked the beginning of a new chapter in their shared history. With the Thren fleet in retreat and the immediate threat diminished, the focus shifted to rebuilding and preparing for the future. The Alliance had proven its strength, but the road ahead would require continued cooperation and determination. The battle had been won, but the war was far from over. The unexpected arrival. In the distant reaches of the galaxy, the Confederation's struggle against the Relentless was reaching its breaking point. They, a formidable and unyielding race, had devastated countless worlds, leaving nothing but ruins and despair in their wake. Their methods of warfare were brutal and merciless, characterized by their biotechnological creations and overwhelming firepower. The Confederation, a coalition of various species, was facing near extinction, with each battle bringing them closer to annihilation. They did not engage in negotiations or diplomacy. They sought only the total submission of the invaded species, harvesting their biological material to produce more of their own kind. The Confederation's forces had been shattered time and again, their fleets decimated, their armies obliterated. Hope was dwindling as the HFY pressed on with their relentless campaigns, pushing the Confederation to the brink of collapse. When news arrived that a new race, humans, was joining the conflict, the reaction was one of skepticism and despair. What could this young, unproven race contribute to their desperate struggle? The Confederation's leaders viewed the arrival of the humans as a mere formality, a token gesture that would provide little in the way of actual aid. The prevailing belief was that the humans would crumble under the pressure and be swept aside like so many others before them. The first encounter with the forces was devastating. The ground assault on was fierce and relentless. The 17th Army Group, tasked with holding the line, was bolstered by the arrival of the human Fifth Order. These human reinforcements, led by a seasoned commander from their past wars, were met with both disdain and reluctant hope. The HFY, however, remained indifferent to the humans' presence, focusing their fury on the already beleaguered Confederation forces. As the HFY advanced, their biotechnological war machines and fearsome warrior forms overwhelmed the defenders. The Confederation's defenses, including heavily fortified positions and advanced weaponry, struggled to withstand the onslaught. The ground shook as the spider tanks and super-heavy armor crushed everything in their path. The air was filled with the corrosive bolts and catalytic beams of the weapons, melting and disintegrating anything they touched. The battle raged on, and despite their best efforts, the Confederation's defenses began to falter. The 17th Army Group fought valiantly, but the sheer scale of the assault threatened to break through. Desperation set in as the lines were breached and the perimeter was compromised. The defenders held on as long as they could, but their situation grew increasingly dire. In a moment of desperation, the commander of the 17th Army Group made a critical decision. Overriding protocol, he reached out to the human forces for immediate assistance. The humans responded with a single cryptic message: "Understood. ETA command has been authorized. Knights on their way. Look to the heavens." The message was puzzling, and the term knights was unfamiliar, but it was clear that something significant was about to unfold. The skies above were soon filled with a stunning sight. Hundreds of fiery streaks descended from the heavens, resembling a meteor shower of unprecedented magnitude. The sheer number of these descending objects was overwhelming, and they seemed to promise both hope and destruction. The defenders, initially doubtful, were stirred by this unexpected display of strength and determination. The meteor shower. As the fiery streaks in the sky grew larger, the defenders on Caucasus observed with a mix of awe and trepidation. What had initially seemed like a distant and almost surreal phenomenon was now becoming a reality that was both awe-inspiring and foreboding. They, briefly distracted by the unusual celestial display, halted their relentless assault, giving the beleaguered Confederation forces a fleeting moment of respite. As the hours wore on, the battlefield remained a fierce and dynamic struggle. The human knights, having proven their worth, continued to fight alongside the Confederation forces, their presence a symbol of hope and resilience. The outcome of the battle hung in the balance, but the arrival of the human knights had injected a new level of intensity and determination into the conflict. The arrival of the human knights had not only shifted the dynamics of the battle, but also redefined the Confederation's understanding of their new allies. The humans, far from being the weak and inexperienced force they had been initially perceived as, had proven themselves to be formidable warriors with a unique and effective approach to combat. Their heroism and determination had left a lasting impression, transforming the battle on Kirkus into a symbol of resistance and hope. The unyielding resolve. In the aftermath of the initial clash, the battlefield around Kirkus had become a scene of both chaos and resolve. The human knights, having secured a foothold in the conflict, began to demonstrate their true capabilities. Their advanced combat systems and innovative tactics proved to be a game-changer, allowing them to push back against the X6 forces with surprising effectiveness. The Confederation's command, now fully aware of the value of their new allies, coordinated closely with the human leadership. The human commander, whose tactical acumen had been evident from the start, took charge of directing the combined forces. His strategies were marked by a combination of boldness and precision, which helped to mitigate the X6's overwhelming strength. As the battle continued, the X6 responded with increased aggression, deploying even more of their formidable biotechnological creations. The ground was littered with the remnants of destroyed war machines and fallen soldiers, a testament to the ferocity of the conflict. The X6's relentless assault aimed to break the spirit of the defenders, but the arrival of the human knights had sparked a new kind of resistance. The human knights' combat style was a blend of traditional warfare and cutting-edge technology. Their armor, while highly advanced, was also designed to be versatile and adaptive. The knights utilized a combination of energy weapons, plasma rifles, and specialized equipment that allowed them to engage the X6 forces effectively. Their tactics, which included coordinated strikes and strategic use of terrain, played a crucial role in holding back the X6's onslaught. The battle for Kirkus became a defining moment for both the Confederation and the human forces. The humans, initially underestimated, had proven their mettle and earned the respect of their allies. The Confederation forces, inspired by the knights' bravery and skill, fought with renewed vigor. The once dismal outlook for Kirkus began to show signs of improvement as the defenders managed to regain control of key positions. Despite the progress, the X6 remained relentless. Their forces adapted quickly to the new threat, employing even more sophisticated tactics and strategies. The X6's biotechnological creations, which had previously seemed invincible, were now facing a formidable challenge. The battle had become a contest of endurance and ingenuity, with both sides pushing their limits to achieve victory. The human knights, undeterred by the X6's continued aggression, pressed on with their mission. Their resolve and determination were unwavering, and their efforts were focused on not only repelling the X6 but also ensuring the safety of the civilian population. The human commander's leadership was instrumental in coordinating the defense and maintaining morale among the troops. The battle's intensity was a testament to the stakes involved. The outcome was far from certain, and every moment was marked by the clash of weapons and the cries of battle. The defenders, bolstered by the human knights, fought with a sense of purpose and unity that had been previously absent. The arrival of the human forces had transformed the conflict into a struggle of wills, with both sides determined to emerge victorious. As the battle continued, the human knights and the Confederation forces developed a deeper understanding of each other's strengths and capabilities. The collaboration between the two groups was marked by a sense of mutual respect and admiration. The humans, once seen as a mere formality, had proven themselves to be invaluable allies in the fight against the X6. The struggle for Kirkus was far from over, but the presence of the human knights had changed the course of the battle. Their heroism and unwavering resolve had inspired the defenders and given them a renewed sense of hope. The X6, despite their continued aggression, now faced an adversary that was not easily defeated. The turning point. As the battle for Kirkus wore on, the human knights and Confederation forces began to make significant headway against the X6. The arrival of the knights had been a turning point, but the conflict was still fierce and unpredictable. The X6, undeterred by the unexpected resistance, continued to push their assault with relentless determination. The human commander's strategies had been effective in turning the tide, but the X6 were not easily defeated. The battle had reached a critical juncture, with both sides locked in a desperate struggle for control. The human knights, supported by the Confederation forces, continued to fight with a combination of skill and bravery that was unmatched. The Exarchs, recognizing the threat posed by the human forces, adapted their tactics in response. They deployed even more of their biotechnological creations, creating a new wave of assault that tested the limits of the defenders. The battle became a grueling test of endurance, with both sides pushing their capabilities to the limit. Amidst the chaos, the human knights continued to demonstrate their effectiveness. Their advanced technology and innovative tactics allow them to counter the Exarchs' biotechnological creations with surprising efficiency. The knights' combat prowess, combined with their strategic acumen, played a crucial role in holding back the Exarchs' onslaught. The Confederation forces, inspired by the knights' bravery, fought with renewed determination. The once dismal situation began to show signs of improvement as the defenders managed to push back against the Exarchs. The battle, while still intense, had shifted in favor of the combined forces. The human knights, having proven their worth, continued to work closely with the Confederation forces. Their collaboration was marked by a sense of unity and purpose that had been previously absent. The combined efforts of the two groups created a formidable force that the Exarchs struggled to overcome. As the battle for Carcass continued, the human knights and Confederation forces began to gain the upper hand. The Exarchs, despite their relentless assault, found themselves facing a well-coordinated and determined adversary. The tide of the battle had shifted, and the defenders were now in a position to push back against the Exarchs. The turning point in the battle was marked by a decisive engagement. The human knights, utilizing their advanced technology and tactical expertise, launched a series of coordinated strikes that overwhelmed the Exarchs' forces. The Exarchs, caught off guard by the intensity of the attack, struggled to respond to the new threat. The battle for Carcass had become a testament to the resilience and determination of both the human knights and the Confederation forces. The arrival of the humans had transformed the conflict into a struggle of wills, with both sides pushing their limits to achieve victory. The Exarchs, once confident in their dominance, now faced a formidable challenge. As the defenders continued to press their advantage, the outcome of the battle began to take shape. The human knights, having proven their effectiveness, remained a critical component of the defense. The combined forces of the Confederation and the humans fought with a sense of unity and purpose that had previously been lacking. The battle for Carcass was far from over, but the arrival of the human knights had changed the course of the conflict. Their heroism and unwavering resolve had inspired the defenders and given them a renewed sense of hope. The Exarchs, despite their continued aggression, now faced an adversary that was not easily. The battle was far from over, but the arrival of the human knights had changed the course of the conflict. Their heroism and unwavering resolve had inspired the defenders and given them a renewed sense of hope. The Exarchs, despite their continued aggression, now faced an adversary that was not easily defeated: the siege of the Exarchs' stronghold. The siege of the stronghold marked a pivotal moment in the battle. As the stronghold, a colossal structure of towering spires and reinforced fortifications, loomed on the horizon, the defenders, now bolstered by the human knights, prepared for the most daunting phase of the campaign. The stronghold's defenses were a testament to the Exarchs' determination and technological prowess, presenting a formidable challenge for the combined forces of the Confederation and their new human allies. The stronghold's defenses were elaborate and intimidating. Energy shields flickered with an ominous glow, repelling incoming attacks and creating a near-impenetrable barrier. Automated turrets, positioned at strategic points along the perimeter, tracked any movement with ruthless precision. Biotechnological barriers, a hallmark of Exarchs engineering, formed living walls that adapted to and countered conventional weaponry. It was clear that breaching these defenses would require not only strength, but also ingenuity and strategy. The human commander, known for his tactical brilliance, devised a multi-pronged strategy to overcome the Exarchs' formidable defenses. The The plan involved a combination of direct assaults, diversionary tactics, and the use of advanced technology to neutralize a stronghold's defenses. The human knights, equipped with the latest in energy weapons and tactical gear, were prepared to play a crucial role in executing this complex strategy. The initial phase of the siege involved a series of coordinated attacks designed to test and exploit the stronghold's defenses. Human engineers and tech specialists worked tirelessly to deploy specialized drones and advanced reconnaissance systems, providing valuable intelligence on the stronghold's defensive network. The drones, equipped with cutting-edge sensors and stealth capabilities, relayed crucial information about the layout of the defenses and the deployment of Axis forces within the stronghold. As the reconnaissance data flowed in, the human knights, along with the Confederation forces, began to execute their assault. The first wave of attacks targeted the outer defenses, focusing on neutralizing the automated turrets and energy shield generators. Human engineers deployed electromagnetic pulse (EMP) devices to disrupt the energy shields, creating brief windows of vulnerability. During these moments, the knights advanced with precision, using their advanced weaponry to disable the turrets and breach the perimeter. The X-Likes, caught off guard by the intensity and coordination of the assault, scrambled to adapt their defenses. The stronghold's biotechnological barriers, initially thought to be impervious, were challenged by the human knights' innovative tactics. The knights employed a combination of plasma-based weapons and targeted strikes to exploit the barrier's weaknesses. The battle became a dynamic and high-stakes contest of adaptation and counter-adaptation. As the siege progressed, the X-Likes deployed additional reinforcements and activated emergency protocols to bolster their defenses. The stronghold's internal security systems, designed to counter infiltration and sabotage, were put into full operation. The human knights, facing these enhanced defenses, adjusted their tactics accordingly. They employed specialized teams to conduct precision strikes against key components of the stronghold's security network, targeting power nodes, data hubs, and critical infrastructure. The siege reached a critical juncture as the defenders managed to breach the outer defenses and advanced towards the stronghold's inner sanctum. The intense combat within the stronghold's corridors and chambers was a testament to the determination and skill of both sides. The X-Likes, fighting desperately to protect their stronghold, deployed a new wave of biotechnological creations, including heavily armored assault units and advanced combat drones. The human knights, undeterred by the escalating challenge, continued to press forward. Their coordination with the Confederation forces was seamless, as they worked together to counter the X-Likes' new wave of defenses. The knights' combat tactics, honed through rigorous training and battlefield experience, proved to be highly effective in neutralizing the X-Likes' latest threats. Their ability to adapt and respond to changing conditions was a crucial factor in the ongoing siege. As the battle raged on, the X-Likes' stronghold's defenses began to show signs of wear. The combined forces of the Confederation and the human knights had successfully neutralized many of the stronghold's key defenses, creating opportunities for further advances. The stronghold's command center, a heavily fortified structure at the heart of the complex, remained a formidable objective, but the defenders were making steady progress towards its capture. The human commander, overseeing the siege from a command post, issued orders for a final decisive push towards the stronghold's command center. The plan involved a coordinated assault to breach the last remaining defenses and secure control of the heart of the stronghold. The human knights, along with the Confederation forces, prepared for the final phase of the siege, ready to confront the X-Likes' last stand. The final assault was a culmination of the strategies and tactics that had defined the siege. The defenders launched a coordinated offensive, targeting the stronghold's command center with precision. The X-Likes, recognizing the imminent threat, deployed their remaining forces in a desperate attempt to repel the attackers. The ensuing battle was a fierce and chaotic clash, with both sides fighting with unwavering determination. Amidst the chaos, the human knights and Confederation forces pressed forward with relentless resolve. The stronghold's command center, once a symbol of Exix dominance, became the focal point of the conflict. The defenders, driven by the need to secure victory, fought with a combination of tactical brilliance and sheer willpower. The battle for the command center was marked by intense combat and strategic maneuvering. The human knights, utilizing their advanced technology and combat expertise, played a crucial role in overcoming the Teix's final defenses. The Confederation forces, inspired by their allies' bravery, fought with renewed vigor. The combined efforts of both groups proved to be decisive in the final stages of the siege. As the command center fell into the hands of the combined forces, the stronghold's defenses were effectively neutralized. The HFYs, their resistance broken, began to retreat from the battlefield. The victory at the stronghold was a significant achievement, marking a turning point in the battle for Carcass. The capture of the HFY stronghold was a testament to the effectiveness of the human knights and the resilience of the Confederation forces. The siege had been a grueling and challenging endeavor, but the combined efforts of the defenders had ultimately prevailed. The stronghold's fall represented a major strategic victory and a symbol of the triumph of determination and collaboration. The aftermath. In the wake of the siege's conclusion, the aftermath of the battle for Carcass was both a time of reflection and a period of transition. The fall of the HFY stronghold was a significant milestone, but it also marked the beginning of a new phase in the conflict. The once imposing fortress, now a symbol of the HFY's defeat, lay in ruins, and the combined forces of the Confederation and the human knights began the process of assessing the impact of their victory. The battlefield, strewn with the debris of war, bore witness to the intensity of the conflict. The remnants of destroyed X6 war machines and the wreckage of the human landing pods were a stark reminder of the fierce struggle that had taken place. Despite the victory, the cost of the battle was evident, with numerous casualties and damage to both infrastructure and personnel. The human knights, having proven their worth on the battlefield, began to establish a presence in the captured stronghold. Their advanced technology and expertise were instrumental in assessing and securing the site. The Confederation forces, grateful for the human support, worked alongside their allies to consolidate their control over the stronghold and begin the process of recovery. In the command center, the human commander and the Confederation leaders convened to discuss the next steps. The fall of the stronghold had dealt a significant blow to the HFYs, but the conflict was far from over. The HFYs, known for their tenacity and strategic acumen, were expected to regroup and adapt. The focus of the combined forces now shifted towards preparing for the HFYs' next moves and securing the gains made during the siege. The human knights, having demonstrated exceptional skill and bravery, was celebrated as heroes among the Confederation forces. Their arrival and subsequent actions had transformed the battle for Carcass, turning the tide in favor of the defenders. The Confederation, once skeptical of their new allies, now recognized the humans as invaluable partners in the ongoing conflict. As the recovery efforts continued, the leaders of the Confederation and the human forces worked together to plan for the future. The stronghold, now a base of operations, was equipped with the latest in human and Confederation technology. The combined forces began to use the stronghold as a staging point for further operations, preparing for the possibility of renewed HFY attacks. The victory at Carcass had also had a profound impact on the morale of the defenders. The successful siege of the stronghold was a testament to the power of collaboration and the effectiveness of the human knights. The combined forces, united by a shared goal, had achieved a significant victory against a formidable adversary. The aftermath of the siege at the stronghold was a moment of intense reflection and adjustment. As the dust settled over the battlefield, the once feared fortress lay in ruins, a testament to the ferocity of the conflict that had taken place. The immediate focus for the victorious forces was to secure their newfound position, assess the damage, and plan their next moves. The stronghold, now a symbol of the HFY's defeat, represented both a strategic victory and a challenge in maintaining control. The battlefield itself was a stark reminder of the fierce struggle. Debris from shattered war machines lay scattered among the wreckage of human landing pods. The terrain, once pristine and heavily fortified, was now marred by craters and destroyed infrastructure. The conflict had left its mark, not just in the physical landscape, but in the hearts and minds of those who had fought so hard to secure this victory. Human engineers and Confederation forces worked together to assess the damage and secure the stronghold. Their first priority was to establish control of the remaining defensive systems and ensure that no counterattacks could disrupt their newly gained position. The stronghold's biotechnological barriers, which had once seemed impenetrable, were now being examined for any remaining threats or potential traps left by the forces. The human commander, a key figure in the siege, played a central role in coordinating the recovery efforts. His strategic brilliance had been instrumental in the success of the siege, and now his focus shifted to consolidating their position and preparing for future operations. He worked closely with Confederation leaders to devise a plan for utilizing the stronghold as a base of operations for ongoing campaigns. One of the immediate challenges was dealing with the aftermath of the fierce battle. Casualties were high, and both human and Confederation forces faced the task of tending to the wounded and honoring those who had fallen. Field hospitals were set up to provide medical care, and recovery teams worked tirelessly to retrieve and treat the injured. The psychological toll of the battle was evident, with many soldiers grappling with the emotional and mental scars left by the intense combat. As the recovery process continued, the human knights, who had proven themselves as formidable allies, were celebrated for their bravery and skill. Their integration into the Confederation's ranks was a testament to the success of the alliance between the two forces. The Confederation, once skeptical of the human newcomers, now recognized the significant contributions made by their new allies. The knights were hailed as heroes, and their efforts were acknowledged as a turning point in the conflict. In the command center of the stronghold, the leaders of the Confederation and the human forces gathered to discuss their next steps. The fall of the stronghold was a significant victory, but it was only one battle in a larger war. The known for their tenacity and strategic acumen were expected to regroup and adapt. The focus of the combined forces now turned to preparing for the Axike's potential counterattacks and securing their gains. Strategic meetings were held to plan the future of the campaign. The stronghold, now a crucial asset, was equipped with advanced technology and reinforced to withstand any future assaults. The combined forces began to use the stronghold as a staging point for further operations, with the goal of expanding their control and pressuring it into a defensive position. The victory had a profound impact on the morale of the defenders. The successful siege was seen as a testament to the power of collaboration and the effectiveness of the human knights. The confidence gained from this victory was reflected in the renewed determination of the combined forces to continue the fight against the. Despite the success, there was an underlying tension. The HFYs were a formidable foe, and their capacity for resilience was well known. The victory at the stronghold had disrupted their plans, but it was clear that they would not relinquish their objectives without a fight. The combined forces of the Confederation and the human knights prepared for the possibility of renewed aggression and worked to strengthen their defenses.